What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Chi-Town Blitz episode. It's still Chicago. It's still, Bears till we die. This has been the most magical season I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. 2018 was amazing. When have we ever seen a Bears quarterback go out there and throw two of the greatest passes in postseason history in back-to-back games? Two games, two greatest throws of postseason history. It was a fun run while it lasted, but we're going to break everything down for you. This Bears season, this Bears playoff game, and just everything that's been going on. Got my co-host with me today, Mr. J Huff. How we feeling today? I know it's kind of grim. No, it's kind of low.
Yeah, I guess when you put it like that, I should be feeling a lot better, but still sick to my stomach.
If you think about it, bro, out of all this shit, I mean, we could be like the Buffalo Bills. They was crying in the locker room, bro. Like they ain't never gonna get back. You know what I mean? Whereas us, this is our first taste, man. I feel like to be honest, we were spoiled this year, bro. Every year we talk to our guy Zach Pearson. He's like, oh, like we aren't gonna be like 9-7. That's the ceiling. 9-7, 10-7, 9-8, 10-7, that range. This year we exceeded everything. Won the North. Caleb looked good. We got our coach, we got our quarterback, and I know just the fact that we could have won that football game makes it a little bittersweet. Like we should have blew their ass out, to be honest. Like we
Multiple
kicked
field
ourselves in the foot.
goals we could have kicked and called it a day.
I know. I even seen people say like, "Hey, maybe we should have went for 2 after Caleb threw that touchdown instead of." But it is football, man. It could go either way. It's a game of inches. Like you never know what's gonna happen, and I told Jocelyn before the game, I'm kind of like being optimistic about this shit. I told her like, whatever happens, I'm gonna be happy because we just beat the Packers the week before. We beat them in amazing fashion. Caleb Williams got his first playoff win in his first playoff game ever. So this season's already exceeded expectations for me. Anything else that happens is cherry on the top. But going out there and having a shot to win against the Rams, Sean McVay, I don't know if you've seen it because you were at the game. Sean McVay looked like he saw a ghost after Caleb Williams threw that touchdown pass. Like he could not believe what just happened. Now I have to send it to you, but
I
I'm
just
like,
remember cheering loud as fuck. Not really sure what was happening at the time. Or as I look back.
Dude, it's just like it was an unforgettable moment. Now, obviously, a lot of game happened after that moment, but if you just look at that moment, that's one of the best Bears plays of all time, and I think we've been saying that about Caleb all season long. Overtime throw to DJ Moore, the touchdown pass to DJ Moore in the wild card, and now that moment, Caleb Williams scrambling through the ball. The ball had an air yardage of 51 yards, and in the end zone. It was 4th and 4 at the goal line.
I know he sprinted backwards and like literally they had closed fast as fuck on him and he still was able to get the ball off and launch it like that.
That
It's
shit was
just
crazy. And whatchamacallit, I seen somebody tweet out, this is Michael Jordan personified, bro. He's going to be making plays like this for the rest of his career. And I think that's what makes this a little okay. We lost in the divisional round. I think we lost to a team that's going to win the Super Bowl, how good the Rams are. And losing to a team like that, I can handle. But seeing Caleb Williams be able to do this, he's going to get more opportunities at this. This isn't the end of the road. This is just the beginning for us. So what are some of your thoughts and takeaways on this game against the Rams? Just some key takeaways you have, some thoughts after this game.
Man, I think, some of the key takeaways is just I didn't like we were aggressive on 4th down the entire game, but when it came down to a wild throw, you have everybody discombobulated.
Yeah, that would have been a time
Why
to get
not
that
pull
shit.
out a 2-point play? And I also think that we thought we were going to throw the ball around all over the field, but in reality, this wasn't really the weather to do it. And you've seen 3 picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could have easily,
A lot of
even though we did make the
miscommunication.
decision not to go for 2, our defense got to stop. in overtime, and we were driving, and you know
On that play, yeah. We went for it
decided not
all.
to. Yeah, we went for it all basically. When it's like, bro, it's
We had
the
time,
weather
yeah.
is shitty. Neither offense is being explosive. Like, let's pick the right plays. And obviously, it's easy to say that the day after, but
Yeah.
I thought, overall, the fans came out, they showed up for sure. And even after the game, fans stayed and was cheering on Caleb. I didn't even realize that. I was already out. I was already gone. But I think it stings to your point earlier because it's like we had multiple opportunities to win this game
We coulda
and weren't
won
able
this game, yeah.
to capitalize on it. But it it'll be fun going into next year and seeing what moves we make to make this a Super Bowl roster.
And I think, yeah, the Bears will enter next season as one of the more dangerous teams in the NFL, a team that everybody's gonna be like, "This is a dark horse to win the Super Bowl." This is a team like, "All right, you won the offseason, you won the regular season, you won the season because you had some success. You won a playoff game, went down to the wire with the Rams and stuff. So now, if we have a really good offseason, then people are gonna trust us a lot more. So excited about that. But in terms of some takeaways from this game, I think if you would have told me before this game that the Bears defense was going to play how they played, I would have been like, all right, we had them right where we wanted them. It's just, yeah, the mistakes, the miscommunications. I think Kyle Monangai on some drives where we're in the red zone in the goal line, we're giving it to Swift like 4 times instead of giving it to Monangai, which I think he could have had a better chance to get into the end zone. Um, fucking Swift got his ass flipped. I thought he was gonna fumble that shit. But no, I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the fight. This is still a pretty good game. I thought a guy like Brisker, oh my goodness, he looked like he wanted to sign a contract right after this game. He was great against the Packers too, but he was probably the best player on the field for us. Had 14 tackles, had a sack. Nice to see Kyler Gordon step up too. So I think everybody pretty much stepped up for the most part. A lot of drops. A lot of guys kind of left some shit out on the field. Loveland couldn't catch a cold in this game. But then Cole Kmet showed up for you, stepped up for Loveland when he went out with the concussion. So I think this Bears team is just right there, and it's funny to say that with us noticing so many holes on this team. So I think there's a lot to be excited about even within this loss. One thing that pissed me off though, motherfuckers are acting like they're victory lapping the Bears. This is not a loss to victory lap us. It's not like we like shit the bed completely. This is a team we went toe to toe with. Packers fans are happy that we're in Cancun with them and shit. That shit is stupid to me. How could you have anything to say when y'all ass got sent home? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's just they was preying on our downfall because we is popping our shit.
Yeah.
We got a whole off season to see who gets a better team. Their defensive coordinator just left, so we'll see if
5 year contract in Miami. Yeah.
that goes back to being their Achilles heel like years past, especially as um Micah Parsons heals up.
Yeah. So, I talked a little bit about it, but who are some big winners and big losers from this game? I'll start off with some winners. Think Brisker, like I said, Gordon. The young corners for our defense stepped up. Tyreek Stevenson even made some plays. So I really like what we got from those guys. Like I said, Brisker had a sack, Kyler Gordon had a sack. Something about those two guys being healthy together. They were playing in sync. Those guys were making plays for us. DeMarco Jackson, think he was pretty solid. Montez Sweat had a sack. Defensively, I can't say enough. I think Dennis Allen, this was a game that really was like, all right, Dennis Allen's one of the best defense coordinators in the NFL. And Sean McVay after the game was like, you kicked our ass in this game. So gave him props for that. So I think those were some of my big winners from this one. What about you?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think some losers would be just Ben Johnson and Caleb. Just 3 interceptions, and I don't know what our percentage was on fourth down plays, but
Yeah, it
it
was
couldn't have
bad.
been that good. So those are the things I'm looking at, especially the goal line stands, like just I think that's heavily on Ben Johnson,
Mhm.
and then, yeah, some winners, Joe Tooney kicking out to left tackle,
He was really
last
good.
minute was huge, he was solid, um, and, yeah, hats off to Caleb and Cole Kmet on that last play too.
Yeah, that was a big play. Underrated winner, I'll say Jordan McFadden, left guard. They said he was going to be the starting left guard at the start of the week. It didn't start reporting, it didn't start coming out from media until end of the week. But he went out there, really good run blocking. And him and Joe Tooney locked up that side. I feel like Caleb Williams didn't get sacked in this game. There was some pressure, but Caleb did what he usually does. So Jordan McFadden, great game by him. Excited to see what the Bears do, to lessen the blow of Trapillo. I did a video and I was like, Joe Tooney, throw him at left tackle the whole season next season and just let him man that front. Jordan McFadden showed you he could be that kind of insurance. And then when Trapillo comes back, then, switch it back. But we won't really, I don't think we have to invest in another left tackle high in the draft. I think Trapillo's shown me enough to be confident in him moving forward. But that's something I would do as a little band-aid for that and go all defense in the draft.
Yeah, I agree because I think even though the defense showed up the last game of the season,
There's still some, yeah, tweaks
pass
we need to
rush
make.
is gonna be paramount. We have so many comebacks is because we give our defense
Yeah.
can't stop nobody when it matters. So they did their
Yeah.
job this week. So hats off to them. But just looking at next year and what we need from a projection standpoint, it's got to be the number one priority.
Yeah, and we didn't get too much from our interior guys in the defensive line. I know Sweat had a sack, so he was nice off the edge. But, you know, Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Andrew Billings, those guys graded poorly according to PFF. They were really low. All three of them were below 50.
Dang.
So yeah, they didn't get much of anything, any type of pass rush. So that was tough to see. I think that's an area we need to address, go all in on a defensive tackle, defensive end, that route. Um, DJ Moore is probably a huge loser though. I mean, he made some
Yeah,
plays
that
in this
play
game.
was
Yeah,
hard to watch.
it is tough. I mean, he's made so many plays for us this year, game-winning touchdowns and all that, but I think just in that moment to just be running that poor of a route, you can say what you want about like, what route he was running, but the effort he was given running whatever he was running is not good enough ever, let alone in that moment.
Yeah, I think we've seen the last of him in a Bears uniform because it shouldn't be a question. It shouldn't even be a question if he is given maximum effort or not. Like, I feel like it should just look better than that. And I don't think we've had this issue with him or like even in Carolina. So what's
No.
changed? The bag?
Yeah, I'm confused what that is. We've had too many games like that. I think that is a play where, hey, Ben Johnson, those guys in Chicago right now that are making the decisions are like, nah, that's not good enough. And if I don't think he's entering next season as our receiver one, I think it's more of a committee and the amount of money he's getting paid, yeah, we can't get that from you. So I think I think Poles moves on from him. I think he's added in the trade for something, and we see him. I mean, if we don't trade him, I think at the very minimum he's got to get a pay cut. They got to reduce that contract. Something's got to happen with that because he can't be making that amount of money for that shit. Um,
I don't know if they can because they just like moved some money last year, didn't they?
Yeah, it would be tough. So yeah, either take this pay cut or you getting out of Chicago, my boy. So he's made some great plays though. So it's a very dicey situation, but I think my gut's kind of leaning more he's going to be out of Chicago. Now let's talk about Caleb though. What would you grade his performance in this playoff game? How do you feel about this playoff run for him too?
Man, I think some of the throws that corners were dropping routinely, they were catching this time, and that's
Yeah,
why he ended up with 3 picks. There were a lot of them were really good plays by the DBs.
yeah,
So, hats off to them, but I think that's just comes with the inaccuracy piece. Like, it bit us in the ass. Obviously, we didn't complain about the completion percentage because we didn't have turnovers and he was still
Yeah.
making big plays. But um, when those inaccuracies turned into interceptions, now we got a bigger conversation to have. But all in all, he's definitely confirmed that he's the savior of the Chicago Bears. He will be hoisting multiple Lombardis,
Yeah. I think it's
and
fair to say that.
I'm excited to see what the future holds. I think if he can get to a 60% completion at the minimum, we're looking at easily top 5. And if he can go to like 65%, then we're looking at the best quarterback in the league. Because there's not a quarterback in the league, including Josh Allen or Mahomes, that are making those plays at the frequency he is.
At the biggest moments of the game too, like, we're not
Exactly.
seeing a quarterback do this. I was seeing people say, like, he's kind of like a Tyrese Halliburton, how the run he went on in the NBA finals and in the NBA playoffs where he had game-winning shot after game-winning shot and stuff. And then I also saw one of the CBS Sports guys, Brian McFadden used to play for the Steelers. He was saying that he's, like, kinda Steph Curry-ish. Like, he's got that, like, any pass, he feels like he's gonna make it, and he in the biggest moments he's gonna make it too. So we have that guy. It's confirmed. If you were already having doubts, if you're already still hating on his ass, he's like showed up. And even the biggest haters, you can't even, deny his greatness already. Like that passing touchdown to Cole Kmet was special. The passing touchdown last week, I mean the throw on 4th and 8 was special. So this guy is special even with all the issues he has, even the stuff he has to resolve. But this is as worse as he's gonna be. It's crazy to say. This is year one.
Exactly. So the sky's the limit. And I just hate that we have to wait a whole nother offseason to see it.
I know. That's the tough part about it too. It's like, okay, this season was good. It's nice to be, have excitement for it. But, I just seen the NFL YouTube account put out a highlight tape for him and it's 55 minutes.
The
I'm gonna
fuck
watch every
got
single
time
minute.
to watch that shit?
I'm gonna watch every minute of it, bro.
Damn.
Couple times too.
I might put it on for background noise.
And every play gonna be a hit on that bitch too. You know how good of a year you have 55-minute highlight reel? That's
I know
crazy.
that's crazy.
And so, yeah, shout out to the NFL for that. Hopefully, whenever you get some time to watch that, check it out. But I think Caleb Williams, he showed exactly what you want in your franchise quarterback. One of the biggest knocks on a quarterback is how can you perform in the clutch? You see Josh Allen, 4 turnovers, lost his team the game against the Broncos. You see Lamar Jackson, to talk about him, coming up short in these playoff games. No, we have a quarterback, he lost his game, the miscommunication on the interceptions, but this guy is clutch. It's undeniable he's clutch. That's like that. We have that in him. Everything else I'll accept if I could get a couple more of those Jordan-esque plays by him. Um, so I'm really excited about that, really hyped about that. But speaking about the clutchness, do you think that's sustainable? You think this is what he is just going to be in his career?
I think it's super sustainable because he's been super durable. And he
Yeah.
doesn't throw, he doesn't run to run, runs to throw. So he's avoiding a lot of those bigger hits Lamar or Josh Allen are taking where shit, Josh Allen's, running motherfuckers over and shit.
Yeah.
So he's got to take the next step. He's got to improve on script, accuracy, and I think the sky's the limit. You don't
Oh
need
yeah.
to
Go
make
ahead.
a Superman play every time.
You don't
Sometimes
just
the layups are what they need to be, and the play he throws to Rome on 4th and 8, Colson Loveland was wide open. So he
yeah.
he might be Stoke score on that play had he hit him. So
Crazy to think, yeah. It is, a situation where you're hitting the home runs, but you're missing the singles and doubles and shit, but hey, he's gonna clean it up. And I think this offseason, he's gonna work on that. He's gonna lock in with that in just another year of understanding the offense. He's gonna be more confident, more comfortable. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm excited about that. What grade would you give him for year two, this season? What's a grade you would give Caleb for this year? And how are you feeling about him moving forward?
A grade, I would have to say a A minus
I'd agree.
because the things he needs to work on are small. People make a big deal out of it, but Josh Allen was able to rein it in incredibly. Now he's one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the league. So I think the blueprint's out there for him. He just gotta execute. And a year or two in this offense, he's gonna be in complete control of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really dangerous to see what he can do on top of this. And yeah, I mean, there were some stuff like we keep saying he's got to work on, but the success he's having within that is amazing to see. And just being that guy that hey, we could say top five quarterback when it's all said and done. Just with how much success he's having. So yeah, I think it's an A for this season. He exceeded my expectations for what year two was going to look like with him and Ben Johnson. Little shaky, little roller coaster ish, but 7 game-winning drives, can't beat it. Playoff win against the Packers, sent them packing. Went 2-1 against the Packers, can't beat it. Have a shot to take down Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. We've seen Matthew Stafford be an MVP all season long, and we look like the better team in that game already in year one. So with these two, so excited about that. The quarterback class, though, this quarterback class looks generational that Caleb's a part of. Every
I
quarterback has
know.
had a playoff win. Drake Mays has a shot to go to the Super Bowl. Bo Nix, he outplayed Josh Allen in that game. Delivered a great performance before he got hurt. Unfortunately, he's down for the rest of the postseason. But yeah, Jaden Daniels the year before his rookie season went to the NFC Championship game, and Caleb went pretty far this year in the divisional round, almost a shot to make the NFC Championship. So, how you feel about this quarterback class? Because I know motherfuckers was redrafting it, saying Caleb was like the worst quarterback in the draft class. What's your thoughts on this? Four now.
Yeah, I think it's crazy to see the amount of success every guy's had outside of 9. Um,
Yeah,
and my man in Atlanta, but he's getting a new coach, so that might help.
Stefanski, I think it was going to cook
Stefanski's,
with them. Yeah,
yeah, I think that'll be a good look. That'll be a perfect quarterback for Stefanski's system.
yeah, the play
So
action. Yeah,
I think even him, he might have success once he gets healthy. So the only guy I had questions about was Bo Nix. I'm thinking this guy ain't, I'm a Bo Nix hater, but I was really impressed
might be
with
top 10.
how he played those throws down the stretch to win them the game. And he was playing on a broken ankle in that OT, so shit.
Bro,
Hats
and
off to him.
yeah, he went out there, delivered, and he had a couple drops by his receivers. Little Jordan Humphrey,
Uh,
he went out there,
oh
dropped the
yeah, they
touchdown
had a
pass.
wide open touchdown drops.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. His receivers were kind of selling him a couple times. He could have had even better numbers. So Bo Nix went out there. I've been a Bo Nix hater too. I'm like, throw Caleb Williams on this team. They win a Super Bowl, and he went out there, shut me up, and outplayed Josh Allen down the stretch, delivering strike after strike, and that's exactly what we've been waiting to see from him. Drake May, on the other hand, he's gone out there and been the best quarterback on the field both games. I know he's had to go against the Chargers and the Texans, two really elite defenses. It hasn't been perfect, but he went out there and made plays when they needed him to make plays. So this 2024 class is looking like one of the best in NFL history. Maybe you got to look at a lot of quarterback classes, but we haven't seen productivity and success like this. All of them winning playoff games in by year two. Um, and it's looking like they have arrived. The young quarterbacks are coming. The young boys are coming.
That's why I was thinking we were gonna win because I'm like, oh, this is ushering in a new era. Bo Nix won, Drake May won, like, and beat Bo Nix beat Josh Allen when everybody thought this was his year. He finally doesn't have to run into
Yeah.
Burrow or Mahomes, and that wasn't the case. So I'm just a little disappointed that
Yeah.
we
I
weren't
know.
able to at least see what I would have been happy with the NFC playoff game. because I don't think we could have beat Seattle.
I don't think so either.
But
Seattle's looks good, but I felt like this was
but you
a
never
matchup
know.
between.
Fuck.
Yeah, you never know
I
for
would
real.
rather go to that game than losing the divisional round.
That's true. The Stafford versus Caleb was the matchup between the best quarterbacks in the NFC too. So I mean, things are transitioning for these young quarterbacks. You look at Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Burrow. That's the big four. But this young group, this quarterback class, is arrived. They are in the mix of things now. So how do you feel about Caleb against these guys, though? You think is he number one? Is he number two? Where you rank him?
I think he's shit. In my opinion, I think he's number one if you look
Me
at
too.
this
I
year
take him
and
over
moving
Drake.
forward. But most people are going to take Drake over him, which
If he gets an
I guess
MVP
I can't
too.
blame that. I'm sticking with Caleb as the best quarterback in that draft because the ceiling is just way higher than the rest of them. But definitely shout out to Drake May for what he's able to accomplish, and Bo Nix too, because them niggas still in the tournament.
I know. And it's sad that we don't get to see Bo Nix and Drake May duke it out. That would have been amazing.
I know.
But yeah, Caleb Williams, I'm taking him one. Probably taking Drake two. What happens if Jaden Daniels comes back and he's able to bring back that same type of play from his rookie season? I mean, do you think he could reassert himself within this class of QBs?
I don't think so, just because of the injuries are too big of a concern for me.
Yeah,
And his playing style, he's not going to stop running. That's what makes him
most
dynamic.
effective. Yeah,
But he's lighting the ass, so it's like RG3 all over again.
it's sad. Yeah. Cause he's like that, bro. Him and Caleb, like I was expecting. All right, I thought Caleb
Yeah,
had
he's
some
like
room to
that.
grow.
He was more polished of a passer. It felt like too.
Yeah, right out the
Um,
gates too, and NFC
which he's
Championship
older,
berth.
so it makes sense. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, sky was the limit for dude.
And yet, people are keep comparing the Bears to the Commanders. How the Commanders went on a deep playoff run, and then they signed everybody, every old ass veteran possible. Von Miller brought back Bobby Wagner. Their defense was the oldest in the NFL. Debo Samuel's on the roster and stuff. So they made a lot of poor decisions, and they had the year they had. So people think the Bears are gonna have that same type of year too.
And they just lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah. I hear good things about the offensive coordinator they just hired. David Blau, I think former quarterback, played quarterback for the Lions a couple times. Very hot candidate in the swing of things as an OC. But, I'm interested to see what the Commanders look like next season. But for the Bears, I think this is way more sustainable than what the Commanders had. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are legit. Regardless of whatever happens, they're going to create sustainable success year in, year out.
Question.
And then you got the young pieces to follow. So really all you need to do is just, hit on a couple defensive players and we're going to be back. If we just bring this roster back, we'll be fine. And like just another swing at it, 50-50 chance to make it all the way. Elite quarterbacks in this playoffs have revealed themselves. Other quarterbacks have shit the bed again. Justin Herbert, he's raising some eyebrows with him going 0-3 in the playoffs. Josh Allen, I think people are viewing a little lesser of him now, him coming up short again. Because, hey, Sean McDermott deserved to be fired. Brandon Bean, their GM, I'm surprised he still has his job. But, those guys deserve to be fired for sure. But I think this Bills team gave him the chance. The players stepped up. Defense played well enough for him to win that football game, and he lost the battle to Bo Nix, and he had 4 turnovers, costly
Yeah.
turnovers.
You don't have that offensive guru. You need it because Sean Payton, although Bo Nix give him a ton of credit, that nigga Sean was dialing that shit the fuck up.
Cooking.
It seemed like
Cooking, bro.
every play was hidden. That fucking play to end the half was fire. I mean, not the end of half, or in their 2-minute drill. Come on, man.
Yeah. Sean he's very underrated too. I don't think people understand how cold he is too when he's in his bag. So, I mean, he could very well win that game against the Patriots with Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham has experience. He's going to make sure bro's prepared. So, and I think he's the highest paid backup in the league or something crazy. So we'll see what happens with that. Do you think Caleb is in that elite category of quarterbacks? Like, how many quarterbacks are you taking over him after the playoffs? I feel like he revealed himself as an elite quarterback. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think he passes up the Jordan Loves, the Baker Mayfields,
I think
the
golf too. Yeah.
Goff, that like B plus quarterback era, and now he's in the A's, A minus. You know what I'm saying? So there's very few you're taking over him. I think you might take Dak, you might take Drake May, Mahomes, Burrow, and Josh Allen. But that's
Lamar.
really it.
I'm not
I'm
taking.
not taking Lamar over him.
Okay, okay. Lamar's my goat, bro.
I just didn't see enough from him this year, and he was dinged up. But I don't know how good of a passer is he if he is without his legs
Mhm.
correcting a lot of things. So
Yeah,
he
this
still
year
made
did
plays, and
kinda.
he gave him an opportunity to make the playoffs. So um, I don't want to take too much away from him, but it's just hard in a sport like football where your best ability is availability. If you're not 100% and you put that on tape, it's hard to put you back in that top five,
Yeah, 100%.
even though it sound disrespectful because he's a two-time MVP.
If Lamar was healthy and he was more, yeah, his legs not being a threat did kind of hinder him. You saw him struggle as a passer a little more too. But that Steelers game was peak, bro. Did you watch that one? That shit was peak cinema, bro. I
Yeah,
couldn't
it
believe that
was.
they
So
were
that's
going
why I'm
back and
like, I
forth.
can't really hate him because he still put himself in a situation to get into the tourney. And he hooped without needing a bunch from his legs in that last game. But I just think what Caleb's doing right now, he might have edged him just out, just with his performance getting better, and then Lamar's kind of coming down.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, but I think if how I rate it, how I rank it, if this could be just my hot take to be honest, but I would say Caleb Williams top 6 quarterback in the league. Now, I would say Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow when he's healthy, Drake May, Caleb. That's my top 6 quarterbacks, I think. And, the order, obviously, I'll let the rest of the season continue to play out, but that's my top 6 quarterbacks. I think Herbert, really
Think
don't
he better
trust
than
him.
Dak?
Oh, yeah, I'd take Caleb over Dak. I'd take Caleb over Dak in a heartbeat. Caleb got that dog in him.
That's true. But Dak was hooping this year.
Yeah, he was. He was. But if you think about it, Caleb versus Dak, playoff game, who you taking? I'm taking Caleb. I'm taking Caleb. Ball in his hands last. Just like all the important traits you need in a quarterback, the superstar ability. I think it goes further than just putting up great numbers, throwing for 4,000, all that. I think yeah, what's his name? Dak would be able to throw for 4,000 in Ben Johnson's offense, but in terms of having that, all right, I don't care what happens. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win my team the game. I think Caleb Williams has that more, and I think that propels me to pick him over Dak. Same with Drake May. I feel like he's got a lot of superstar ability to him too, and just has that ability to make more plays than just throwing the football. Makes plays with his legs. Went out there and outdueled Josh Allen. Took his chain. Won the division this year. So that's where I'm kind of headed with that. That's my top 6.
That's fair. But I think, yeah, he might be 7 on my list.
But that's still really good. Like that's
I
like
agree.
what's another great
You're
season
not
from being
taking
in that
Matty Ice
conversation.
over him?
Matt Stafford, that's true. Okay, maybe he is 7 for me then. Maybe he is 7 for me. Because Matt Stafford
We
is that
forgot
guy.
about him.
Matt Stafford, Iceman too. Hey,
Nah,
he
he's clutch
delivered
as
in the
fuck too.
clutch. So that's like, all
Exactly.
right,
So
if we're gonna lose to a quarterback and a coach, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, I'm okay with losing to them. That's fine. Especially with us being so young and fresh, I'm okay with that.
right. They've been
Jordan
doing
Love,
this for a lot more years.
yeah,
So
I feel like they're gonna go win another Super Bowl. So Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, nah, we gotta beat those motherfuckers. Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, we got to beat those motherfuckers next season, you know? Um,
Agree.
but speaking on that topic, Ben Johnson, what is the grade you would give Ben Johnson for this season?
Well, yeah, what he was able to do, I think an A minus as well. I think, some of the smaller things he can
The
learn
fourth
from
down,
just
yeah, yeah, he's got a lot to
specifically
learn
from
from
that
that. Yeah,
game. It's like, even though our run game carried us this year, we weren't getting it when we needed it in the playoffs. So that's got to change.
yeah, a little more
Um,
consistency. Well, trying to make it a little more well balanced. Yeah,
and yeah, I love the aggressive nature, but yeah, let's be aggressive all the fucking time and take their heart out with the 2 point play. He was probably just as like, what the fuck?
yeah. And he
Is
was
this
trying to
the
be like, all right,
NFL?
let me make a quick decision. And he's like, he probably didn't want to lose a football game on that play, you know. But Caleb Williams looked like Jesus out there, bruh. He like
That's what I'm
put the ball in
saying.
his hands one more time, and I think he would have came up with that shit.
That's what I'm saying. He's clutch. So,
Yeah, so but that's just another thing for Ben Johnson to learn. Let me trust my
mhm.
quarterback more. Let me put the ball in his hands. And I think the more those two work together, we'll get in that situation where, all right, Caleb, go ahead, win us this game. Close this out for us. I don't care what it is. You know, Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, I'm going to bring up the situation. Remember where Lamar's yelling at the sideline, let me run for it on fourth down. Let me get the fourth down. And John Harbaugh's like, okay, that's what we need from these two, you know?
Mhm.
And
Couldn't agree more.
that comes with more growth in their development. But Ben Johnson, I think I how many times did we see him get out coached this season? I don't think it's been a huge improvement over Matt Eberflus, and I feel like no matter who the coach is, we got a shot.
Exactly. And I felt that way about last night, but
And Sean McVay, yeah, yeah, I
you can
felt like
still
that
see
too.
the difference between us, a little bit more tenured coach,
Mhm.
or even
For
Sean
sure,
Payton for that. Like, Sean was dialing them bitches up down the stretch.
yeah. Those the Super Bowl experience does come in a factor, and just being able to, all right, I've been in this situation before. That's going to come with more time for Ben Johnson. But I thought it was a great year by him. I think now, more importantly, the Bears enter the year with the best quarterback, best coach in the division. Now, I think that's where we're at.
No question.
Proved it against the
No question.
Packers. I think Detroit, though, we got to prove it against them. We got to beat them, but I still like us to have more success than them, whether we win or
Me
beat them
too.
or
I
not.
think that their run is over.
But like they're just a bad matchup for us. They just are a team that I think regardless we'll have problems against, you know, just in terms of because how well they know Ben Johnson and just, they're like more than any team, they want to get us. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we're gonna be the hunted. We're not sneaking up on nobody anymore. So they're gonna be
Yeah.
on our ass.
So, but I do think, yeah, the Bears have the best coach, best quarterback in the division now, and that's something we haven't had been able to say in quite some time. You know, Ben Johnson gives us stability at the coach position, and then Caleb Williams gives us stability at the quarterback position. So that is a success.
And defensive coordinator, stability.
Yes, that's a success. We're gonna lose Bieniemy. He's gonna be the OC of the Chiefs now. Yeah,
Really?
he's
Good for him.
yeah, he's moving back on. I think Matt Nagy's probably gonna get a head coach job again, but Bieniemy's already taken. He's taken the job. So I mean, it's a is it that tough of a loss? What do you think about that?
No, I don't think so. As long as the head's still there, we'll be fine. But I would like to upgrade our running back room, I think. Um, you seen when it was like time to play the elite of the elite, we weren't where we needed to be. So
Yeah, Kyron
I
Williams looked like the
definitely,
best back in that game. Kyron
you
Williams was
feel me?
hooping
So
down the stretch.
we got great production out of him, but I don't think we have like a, a top five back or anything like that. You know what I mean?
You think that's what our offense is missing? Really?
No, I think more so the completion percentage is missing. But um, I think if you look at what Detroit was able to do, with the talented running backs they have, shit, even the Rams, there's a little bit more room for improvement. If you see a super flashy guy in the fifth or fourth round, where it makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you too, like switching over to that, with the running backs, receivers, like I feel like Caleb, yeah, if he takes those next steps as a passer, it really won't matter. Like it hasn't mattered for Patrick Mahomes really at times. DJ Moore, if we trade him, are you confident that we have the guys to be receiver one? Like you think Luther Burden and Roma Dunze would be enough? Are you concerned with Roma Dunze, what he's been doing, with all the drops and shit?
No, I'm not concerned. I think he just need to be him and Caleb and the receivers need to be vacationing together, grinding. You know what I'm saying? 25-8. So that's got to happen. Um, but no, I'm not concerned. I think we got our number one. I think it'll be Luther Burden the third.
Yeah, dude. Every time he touches the ball, it might be little like just him breaking a tackle, juking one dude out, like, but it just looks so smooth. It looks like he's like moving at a different speed. Every time he's doing that. So I think he is our number one receiver. I want to see Rome improve this season on the 50-50 balls. I feel like he's lost his step from Washington. At Washington, he was a totally different player. Like, dude, and
He was the big man. He out rebounded everybody, and every 50-50 ball was his ball to go get.
yeah.
I think that might have just came with, guys getting bigger or
Hmm.
being
Tougher
bigger.
competition, yeah.
So yeah, he maybe need to get in the weight room because he do look a little light.
I need to see that from him in year 3. I will give him a pass for, some struggles this season because he was hurt. He had that foot injury for a majority of the season. And the start of the year, he was fantastic. Like he came out the gates hot, putting up like a touchdown every game. So I think if he could produce like that, improve on the drops, limit those, and just be more aggressive with some of the, coming down with it, two hands on motherfuckers. If he could do that, I'll be okay. Luther Burden, I still think is that guy, that number one receiver, and Loveland too. Excited about him. We know we got another weapon in Cole Kmet too at tight end, which he stepped up big with that touchdown catch and really good in the blocking area. So I'm confident that we have enough if we move on from DJ Moore. Ben Johnson, he could hit on a guy later on in the draft too at receiver, guy that we just add to the mix. Jade Walker even too. He's made plays as an undrafted free agent. So really like what we got at that regardless. Um,
It's true. Do you think
yeah.
the running back room, would you improve it if you could?
Uh See, I would I personally I like the running backs we got. I'll run it back with they ass. Maybe get another back opposite of Roshan Johnson, because what the fuck Roshan Johnson
Oh yeah,
get another
that nigga
guy?
be in the middle of the breakdown too at the end of the game too. Like,
Right.
nigga, get your ass back.
I see him like first in like in the post game like locker room shit. Yeah, I always see him in
Exactly.
there dressed up like he ain't play. uh but no, I would add like a running back late in the draft because there's gonna be a ton of running backs that are gonna be good. Maybe a guy that could be like another Manungai and shit, bigger back. Um, but that's it. I feel good with Swift. I feel good with Manungai. I really think defensively, if we just do what we did, every pick in the top first rounds is a defensive guy, edge, defensive tackle, corner, no safety. Like I'm good with that. We go that route. That's exactly where I'd be leaning.
Me too. Nashawn Wright.
Hell no, bro. Nah, I don't. I don't personally, because I feel like, obviously I want to retain Al Harris, but I feel like Terrell Smith coming back, Zay Frazier, we don't know about him yet, but I feel good with Kyler Gordon, a healthy Tyreek Stevenson, and Jalen Johnson. I feel like those three are really good. We don't need to spend a bag on another corner. He had a great year for us. Hopefully he gets a bag somewhere else and he's somebody else's, like, because he's too up and down, you know?
Right. He's a
That's
liability when you got now that niggas got film on them, they was like, all right, well, let's just fucking
they're attacking his ass too.
do all the crossing routes and all the change of directions. You can't just see a backup corner and be like, oh, let's throw him a 50-50 ball.
Yeah. 100%. So, one thing I would ask you though, before I ask you for a hot take and stuff, Do you consider this season a success? Year one and Ben Johnson and Caleb
Absolutely.
Williams.
Absolutely. Won a playoff game, finished, won the North. Like, you can't beat that shit. You
Can't.
can't beat it.
Not at all.
When the last time that was our first playoff win in 15 years?
Yeah. And you took it a step
Caleb,
further from 2018 too. I
bro,
feel like
Artie
this
is the best
was a really
quarterback
good year.
in Bears history.
Oh, yeah. And then Ben Johnson's that like he gives you stability as a coach. Everything you wanted Ben Johnson to be, I feel like he was in this year. And Caleb Williams, same thing with him. The rookies, they all played well. We got great production. Finally, a good draft class. And I feel like you know what holes you need to fix. And to be honest, I feel like we finally saw our defense healthy. We finally saw what our defense could have been in this game. And in the second half last game. So I think we're headed in the right direction. I think we're a sustainable success story. I think things are going to be really scary for the rest of the NFL the next couple years. What would hot take you have to finish it out?
The Bears are gonna get Max Crosby.
Really? Okay, I fuck with that. I think DJ Moore 100% in that deal. Go ahead, bye bye. Wrapped it up.
Yup, give him DJ Moore, a first and a second, and maybe a third in the following year, and then you can call it a day.
I think we make that deal today. And if you saw with the play that Caleb Williams made, that fourth and 4 touchdown, Max Crosby was like, "Oh my god!" I think he wants to come to Chicago. I think Chicago's a
A
destination he
lot of
wants to
people
go.
want to come play for Chicago because that shit's every week, boy. He makes plays
Ke-
like that every week.
Kevin Byard just said, yeah, the Bears are going to be a destination where a lot of people are going to come. I know Brisker was saying, I want to come back. Kevin Byard's like, yeah, I want to come
Nah,
back.
nigga.
Yeah. So
Both y'all ass might.
I'd bring Byard back for sure, though. I feel like he's
Me
still got,
too, but he might try to break the bank. I feel like somebody might
yeah.
overpay for his ass.
Yeah,
He's just first team
man.
All Pro.
Yeah, led the NFL in interceptions. I think he's a great veteran for this defense too. I think he's a necessary piece. Dennis Allen looks like he brought the most out of him, so I think I would bring back Byard. But I think the Bears are going to be a very attractive team. I could see some players even taking a pay cut just to get a feel of what it's like to play with the franchise quarterback. Like the Bears got a guy, so that's going to be really attractive. And it's nice to be able to say that. That's another reason why I feel like this year is a success. So great season. I think I'm gonna just stick with that hot take I said. But this was a year that lived up to the hype. It didn't have the ending we wanted to. We got excited. We felt like we had a shot to make it to Super Bowl, but I feel like the Super Bowl still is very close and in our grasp soon if we play our cards
I
right.
agree.
So we're really closer than the teams that are clowning us for getting bounced out of the playoffs and shit. Fuck them motherfuckers. But whatever happens, moving forward, we're gonna keep you guys updated with great content. Keep delivering and keep you filled with some entertainment until the next season follows. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Stay updated with our content. And as always, peace. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.